make a glove. Let's make a beautiful glove for a dress. Okay, I want to show us how I cut out my lace fabric for the glove. Okay, so you have to first know the length of the glove you want to make, how long you want it to be. So I've cut out the length of the fabric I need. Okay, so what I have here is 21 inches, and I want the glove to come out to say 20 inches or give or take 19 inches. Okay, so I know that I'll have like half an inch as a hem at the end, and then we're going to be having like 1 inch to fold it twice at the end here. Now you can decide to add an elastic for more firmness. The elastic will help to keep it firm, like keep it together, to make sure it has a firmer grip. Okay, so I folded this one in half. I'm also going to fold this one in half, but before I fold this one and cut it, let's work on this first. Now for your measurement, you need the length of the glove, you need your round arm measurement, you need your wrist measurement, and then you can get a tracing of your hand because our hands are not equal. Okay, now the measurement of my hand and the measurement of the glove I want to work on, they are not the same. Look at the measurement I need. This is I've traced out the palm. Now if I place my palm on it, you can see that it's not the same. This person's palm, the fingers are longer than mine, so I'm going to be using this because this is the exact one I need. So what I have here is just the palm. I'm going to here include the arm measurements. Okay, I'm going to work with this. First, I'm going to mark out a straight line at the center somewhere around here. So I'm just going to choose, I'm using my pattern master to mark out where the straight line will be. Okay, so I'm just going to follow through here and mark a straight line. I'm going to place the middle finger exactly on this straight line because I want to retrace this pattern. Okay, I want to retrace this pattern. This is longer, so I'm going to come in a little bit more. So now I'm going to place the middle finger on the straight line because I'm going to trace it out. I'm going to use my tracing wheel to transfer this measurement to the pattern under the plain pattern. Okay, so let's see what I have done. Now if you look closely, you will see the markings of the tracing wheel that I'm now going to be using my marker to make it more obvious. So this is it. Look at the mark from the tracing wheel. You can see how it follows. Okay, this is what your tracing wheel does for you. If you have a tracing wheel, you can transfer patterns from one pattern paper to the other. That is a tracing wheel. Okay, so now I'm going to be using my marker to make this line more obvious. Okay, so this is what I have. Now you see why I place the middle finger here so that it will just be at the center part. Okay, now I can now transfer the other measurements. Okay, now for the length, let's measure say 20 inches. So from where the middle finger stops, I'm going to mark the 20 inches. I'm going to use my pattern master. You're going to place your pattern master. I want to create a straight line, so find a straight line on the pattern master, place your middle line on it, and it will be a guide for you to get a straight line. Okay, so next I'm going to be transferring the measurements. So I have the largest part of the arm, that's around the elbow, to be 13 inches. Okay, 13 inches divided, now we know that this thing is going to be in half. Okay, this is half of the part because it's going to be there are going to be two fabrics. I'm going to be cutting it into two. Okay, so we're assuming that this one is one side, then the one that will be under will be the other side, which means you fold your pattern into two. So whatever measurement you are putting here now will be half of the measurement. Okay, will be divided by 2. So 13 divided by 2 is going to be 6.5. Now I'm going to divide 6.5 into 2 again because of this center line. So I'm folding my tape in half to get it. Okay, so here, and I'm going to extend this to here. So this is what I have. Now the next measurement somewhere around here is 11.5 inches. 11.5 divided by 2 is 5.72, 5.75. So divided by 2 again will now be 2.87. So I'm going to mark around here 2.8. So 2.8, 2.8 here too. Now the wrist is supposed to be like 8 inches. Divided by 2 will be 4, and 4 divided by 2 is going to be 2 inches. So I'm going to mark 2 inches here, 2 inches here. Now I am going to try and connect these dots, okay? So we are connecting this one to here, and then connecting here to here. So just like that, connect the lines. And then so now you are trying to trace this and make it a part of this one. Getting what I'm saying? Now you're going to just try and connect this. Now although this is too wide, it's supposed to be around 7 inches here, which means I should take out like something around here from here, which is why you should, when you're making your sleeve, it is advisable to work with a stretchy fabric. I'm altering it because I'm going to be using a stretchy fabric. So when you are recreating yours, the stretchy fabric is better. So I can cut out this pump now and now use this to cut out my fabric. I hope you understand. Okay, so this is the glove. All right. Okay, so I'm going to place it on the fabric and retrace it out. Let's. I'm not going to be adding allowance on this side. Like I said, I am working with stretchy fabric. I'm not adding allowance on this side, just very little here. I'm not adding any allowance, so only a little around the palm. So this is what I have. I'm going to use this now to cut out the second part. Okay, so I've cut out both of them for both sleeves, both hands, and added just 0.25 sewing allowance all around. I'm going to go ahead and sew it. Now, if you have a machine that sews and overlocks at the same time, that is best for this. But if you don't, you can sew it and then weave it. But when you are weaving it, of course, be very, very careful not to make a mistake with it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hem it. I'm going to go ahead and sew it with 0.25 all around and sew all sides. Okay, and I'll also hem the end because I'll be adding elastic, black elastic at the end. Okay, so this is it. I've gone ahead to sew it, you can see, and this is the one I turned inside out. After sewing, obviously you turn it inside out. So now I think I made a little bit of a mistake when I was cutting it. So I made this smaller finger, I gave it more allowance than I did this one. Now good thing is I used a stretchy fabric, so it might still fit. So it will still fit. So I'm going to have the person try it on and I will show us how it looks. Now this is the end of the band. So you can see I made I hemmed it, and I'm going to be passing a little elastic, black elastic round, so that it will give it a bit of grip when you wear it. Otherwise it might slide down like this, it might be spooling down a little bit from the arm when you wear it. But when you put an elastic round here, it gives it more of a grip. I'm going to do that. I've not done that for this one. Just want to show us how it looks from the onset before you will now turn it inside out.
Now I had to add some stones to give it a bit of glitz so that it will look finer than it is right now. I'm going to show us how I added the stones using my steam iron.
Because it's not my size, I'm going to put it on the person that is supposed to wear it, and I will show us how it looks. See you guys in my next tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed. Like this video and drop a comment in the comment section. See you all in my next tutorial. Bye bye. This is me heating up the stones on the glove. So you can put stones to add glitters and make it finer. Okay, so I'm using a steam iron, carefully placing them randomly in no particular order. So when you are done placing it, just put a steam iron on it. And I have this fabric that I bought from AliExpress. You can use it to steam your fabric or even a light fabric, so the heat from the iron will not go directly on it and it will not damage the fabric. That's why I'm using that.